A very good morning to my dear children. Today in our online class, we shall continue with our lesson Consumer Protection Act. Our next question is, what are the methods of consumer protection? Which means किन किन तरीकों से consumers को protect किया जा सकता है. First method is business self-regulation, which means business अपनी activities को खुद ही regulate या monitor करे. And वो कैसे करेगा? By having ethical standard and adopting a self-discipline policy. So business can regulate their own behavior and actions by adopting higher ethical standard and self-discipline. Second is consumer self-help. As you all know, self-help is the best help. So consumers can protect himself and his family by helping himself. And how can he help himself? By educating himself and being aware of the rights available to him. Next is consumers association. Consumers together can form an association or a group. The role of this group will be not only to educate and awaken the consumers but also put pressure on business to restrict or to adopt fair trade practices. Next is government regulations. Government can regulate the activities of businessmen through legislative, executive and judiciary. Legislative means they can modify the laws made by the government or by the court in the light of experience and suggestions. Executive means they can make new laws for the protection of consumers, and judiciary decides the penalty or punishment to control the malpractices adopted by the businessmen. We have been so far talking about the rights of a consumer. But what are the rights of a consumer? The first right of a consumer is right to safety, means consumer should be protected against all those goods and services which are hazardous to life and property. Consumers must be given surety regarding the quality, reliability and performance of goods. Right to be informed. Right to be informed means consumers should be informed about the quality, potency, standard, quantity, purity, price of the goods. And उनको ये information कौन देगा? It is the responsibility of the manufacturer and the distributor. Consumers should be protected from deceptive advertisement, misleading labeling and warranties. Next is right to choose, which means that no seller can use or adopt any aggressive selling techniques. That means seller should not force a consumer to buy a product. Consumer should have access to variety of goods and should be free to choose any of it. Next is right to heard. Heard means कि there should be somebody to whom consumer can complain. The consumer has right to register his dissatisfaction and get his complaint heard. Right to seek redressal means right to get compensation. Compensation can be in the form of money or repairing the product, replacing the product, or the product can be taken back by the seller. Next is right to consumer education, means consumers should be made aware of his rights and remedies. This main purpose is to make consumer conscious and protect themselves against the hazardous practices adopted by the businessmen. Thank you. That's the end of the chapter. Thank you.